Okay, so you hear me say all the time, be a passenger princess to your God self. And if you're new here, I say it all the time. That's how I end all my videos. Be a passenger princess to your God self. And what does that mean? I realize I don't have a video truly breaking it down to what it means to be a passenger princess to your God self. If you're new here, my name is Ty, the manifestation goddess. This is Lucid Luxury, where we magnetize luxury, where we have the luxury of being present in the moment, present in the unfolding. We have the luxury of experiencing our version of the kingdom of heaven. So I'm so happy you're here. There is a link in my description to my stand store if you want to work with me. Anyway, let's get into the video because we are passenger princesses to our God self. I don't care if you are a guy, you are still a passenger prince to your God, to God. Like God is driving. Like when we say Jesus take the wheel, that is what it means. We are literally in the passenger side as God is driving us to our destination, to our manifestation, to our desires, to the experiences that we want to have. But I wanted to really tap into this energy because there's a few things that I tend to say in my videos or I tend to affirm, and it all ties into being that passenger princess to your God self. So one, I love to say, I actually affirm this every morning. So if anyone wants to know what is my daily routine, I might make a separate video about that. But what is my daily routine? I start by affirming that I am a supreme being. I receive supreme miracles. I am extremely spoiled by God, and I always get what I want. I'm going to say it again, so say it with me this time. I am a supreme being. I receive supreme miracles. I am extremely spoiled by God, and I always get what I want. I affirm this first thing in the morning as soon as I wake up. And to me, that is being a passenger princess to my God self because I'm allowing God to extremely spoil me. I'm allowing God to deliver the best, most magical experiences. And I love doing umbrella affirmations because sometimes our humanists, if we are a passenger princess to God, sometimes our humanists don't necessarily know what's going to give us the experience that we want to have. We know that we desire a specific feeling, a specific experience, but we don't necessarily know what will lead to that experience or that feeling that we want to have, that kingdom of heaven, that nirvana. And I say this because think about how many times you have been manifesting something or calling something in, and when you've gotten that thing, it's like it's not really what you thought it was going to be. It didn't give you the feeling that you really wanted to get. So to me, doing that umbrella affirmation allows my God self, allows God to deliver the feeling that I know I desire to have. Because God goes with you, God goes before you, God goes after you. So God knows what you desire to experience. God knows the feeling that you desire to have. So if I allow God to actually just deliver that experience, then I'm open to whatever that may be. Because, again, like I said, sometimes it's not the thing that you think you want. Sometimes it's completely different. So I allow God to deliver that feeling to me. And it's so funny. Again, if you're in this lucid luxury, it's funny because you have the luxury of experiencing that thing in wholeness and completeness and fullness. So whenever I'm in those moments, I am well aware that this moment is exactly what I desire to experience. And it's like a sweet spot. It gives a different level of gratitude. When you are in the lucid luxury frequency, when you have the luxury of being present in the experience, it gives you a different level of gratitude. It gives you a different level of fullness, of love, because it's like you're well aware that you're an experience of joy and you get to bask in it a little more. Like you get to cherish it a little more. It's not saying that you're holding on to it because moments are fleeting, but God's going to continue to deliver. But you get to fully experience it more. You get to experience it as the creator in the creation. Like you get to know that your God self, which is you, part of you, I like to think of, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I like to think of me, ye are gods, like me and the present as God. As God is the ocean and I'm just a drop. So I have the fullness of God. Like, because I'm a drop in the ocean doesn't take away from me being God, but I understand that there's a higher being leading all of this. So I hope that makes sense. So for me, when I get to experience desires in the fullness, it's like I get to experience it as God, like as this drop of the ocean, but even in the fullness of being God. So I hope that makes sense, because even when I say, I don't want y'all to minimize it. Even when I say a drop in the ocean as God, I want y'all to understand God is all powerful. So a drop in the ocean of a all powerful, infinite being is still very powerful. And I come from my experiences. I come from being a passenger princess from this type of awareness. Like the all-powerful God is leading this, but as a child of God, as ye are gods, I'm still creating this. I'm co-creating this with God through the power of God, which goes through me, which dwells through me. So I hope and know that makes sense. So back to it. So when I go back to the whole, we don't entertain what we don't want to experience, that comes from my God self. That is a reminder for me from my God self. That's a reminder to me from my God self. So even though it's like we're affirming this, like, oh, we don't entertain what we don't want to experience, it's really God speaking through you. Like God is reminding you, don't entertain the BS. Don't entertain things you don't want to experience it. But if you say it out loud, it tends to register in that subconscious mind a lot faster, a lot harder, more. It imprints a bit deeper. So that's why I tend to say it out loud. But it's really just a reminder from my God self. Like, don't entertain the BS. Like, you are extremely spoiled by me. You are me. You're literally me. Like, you came from me. You come from the same power source. Allow me to take the lead and allow yourself to experience these things as me. Like, I really want y'all to sit in that type of energy. Like, when you're going through your day-to-day, when you're going through whatever you're calling it and enjoying the unfolding, I want you to know that all of this is unfolding for you and you get to experience it as God. Like, if you come from that type of awareness, it gives everything a different type of gratitude. Just truly think of it. The next time you're in the middle of something, or the next time you're having a laugh with your family or your friends, or you're just out enjoying the music, or at home enjoying the music, come from the awareness that you are God and you created this experience for you. Like, when you sit in that awareness, I promise you, you will find yourself smiling in awe, smiling in bliss, smiling in gratitude, because you know that you have the luxury of experiencing this human 3D, but as God. Like, that is a beautiful thing. Like, you get to have the luxury of experiencing this human experience, this earth playground, but as God. That is the whole point of this new lucid luxury frequency, is that you're coming from a different awareness. And when you come from this awareness, the entire frequency becomes based on gratitude, because you know that everything can be fleeting. Like, every moment can be fleeting. Nothing truly lasts forever. But as God, you appreciate the moment for what it is and know that it's always going to be more and more expansive moments. That is one beautiful thing that I've learned on my journey. It's like, I truly appreciate moments for what it is. And I don't cling to them, because I know that God is ever expanding. God is expansion. God is elevating, God is infinite, and the next moment is going to be even more sweet than the last. That is what it means to be a passenger princess to your God self, is knowing that every single moment gets better and better, gets sweeter and sweeter, gets greater and greater, gets more loving, more joyful, more blissful, more euphoric. And when you come from this awareness, you enjoy the moments for what they are, with the awareness, with the knowing that the next one is going to be even better. So you don't have to hold on to this thing that you think is giving you this gratification. If you release it and allow God to truly take the lead, if you release it, if you detach, if you surrender and just fully step into your awareness as God, you know that every single moment is going to be better than the last. I promise you that. And for me, so I'm on this journey, like, I'm truly in the energy where I'm completely detached. I'm completely surrendered to God. Like, I don't need anything in my life. That was one of the greatest things I know that I've done. I did this at the end of 2025 To truly be a passenger princess to God is releasing the energy of need. And I know that can be challenging, especially if you feel like you need these things in the 3D. If you just release the energy of need and come into your wholeness, your completeness, knowing that God is delivering everything to you, I promise you, your sense of gratitude will shift everything. It's funny because it's really kind of difficult for me to explain because it seems really counterintuitive. Like, or if I release the need, if I detach, then more things come to me. It's like, it seems backwards, but yes, it's because the 3D is a reflection. The 3D is a mirror. And if you're whole and complete internally, the 3D is going to match your wholeness and completeness. Look at the 3D as a delay. So if you're coming from wholeness and completeness internally, and now you're stepping into the 3D is going to give you experiences that matches your internal shift. It's just the delay. And you can say delay. Once you have the thought, it's already manifested. So you're in the unfolding, but you may experience it as a delay. This is why, for me, what I teach my clients is to come from wholeness and completeness. Like, that is the whole goal of our entire coaching program, is showing you that you need to come to the 3D, approach the 3D from wholeness and completeness, because that is what the 3D is going to reflect to you. And you're going to realize no experience can cause you to feel lack, like, because you have this internal knowing that you are God in the flesh. You are God being expressed as human. So there's absolutely no way that your God self could lack anything. It can experience the illusion of lack. That's your humanness, experiencing that illusion of lack. But when you stay in that internal shift, like, okay, the 3D is expressing as I may be lacking something. I have the illusion of lack. But when you, again, you're the creator and the creation, when you come back into that wholeness and completeness, back into that frequency, back into the luxury of knowing that you're already whole and complete, of knowing that you're experiencing your kingdom of heaven, the 3D is going to shift. Again, we're still human, we're spirits having a human experience. So we may have those feelings. Like, I'm not saying that, I don't ever doubt or I don't ever have these negative type of emotions, but my baseline is wholeness and completeness. So regardless of what my humanness has experienced, I know internally my baseline is wholeness and completeness, and I don't need anything. Truly, like, if you read my descriptions, I always say be a collector of experiences, because when you're just collecting experiences, that is the true nature of wholeness and completeness. You're not necessarily calling in anything, you're just calling in an experience that you desire to have. But because you're a passenger princess to God, you're allowing your God self to bring in said desire. It doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter what you think you desire. You allow God to bring in those experiences, those feelings. And I promise you, it's even sweeter than what you think that you want. For me, if you're ever struggling with this, I go back to moments where I've gotten something that I thought I wanted and it didn't give me the feeling that I thought I would have. So when I come from that awareness, I'm like, okay, like, there's moments where I've had things that I've wanted and I've gotten and it didn't give me that feeling. And there's moments where I've gotten things that I didn't even know that I wanted and it gave me that inner feeling, that inner nirvana, that inner luxury, that inner just peace and freedom that surpasses any understanding. And it came from an experience that I didn't even know I desired to have. So that is what it means to be a passenger princess to God. Allow your God self to bring you experiences that you may not know that you wanted to have, because it's going to give you the feeling, the inner experience that you actually desire to have. And I know it's so funny. It's not saying that you have to, like, oh, well, let me release all my desires. Me personally, that's where I'm at. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But I was shifted to, this is the feeling that I think said desire is going to give me. So let me bask in, let me sit in, let me marinate in the feeling that I desire to have, and then allow God to bring me that feeling. So that way you're not necessarily releasing your desires, but you're calling in what you truly want to experience anyway. So that is what it means to be a passenger princess to God. That is what it means to not entertain what you don't want to experience. Truly sit in this energy And remember, as always, I'm happy, I'm blessed, I'm free. Yahweh. Bye.